All right, guys, welcome back. So for the first time in a long time, we're going to be doing a career video. When I first started this channel, a lot of what I did was a lot of career videos, and obviously it's morphed into a lot more than that now. Before we get into the career video for Dave Blaney, though, we've got 4 new channel members. I woke up the day after the video about Selzy going to the high limit race in Australia. Woke up to 4 new Tier 1 memberships. Absolutely unbelievable. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support. We're at 14 channel members. The new ones, DeReal Snipey 47A, John O'Neill, Ryan Farnsley, and Ed Minus. I hope I'm saying that one right there, Ed. Thank you guys all very much for your Tier 1 memberships. And thanks as well to our existing channel members, Jay Strasser, Christopher Thacker, Brent Bayer, Ski Loner, Caleb Johnson. Those members have been a member less than 1 month. These guys over here, all more than 2 months. Bill Gillies, Skyke, Easy Does It, Racing Vagabond, and Blake Dowell. Thank you guys so much. I cannot believe we are at 14 channel members now. Absolutely crazy. This is also the first video ever on this channel where there are 3 whiteboards being utilized. The one you just saw there came all the way from California, all the way across the country in the high limit trailer, and it is now here. So let's look at the stats for Dave Blaney, the Buckeye Bullet out of Hartford, Ohio. What an incredible career for him. He spent a lot of years on the Outlaw Tour as a full-time member, and we'll jump into the stats here now. So in 1985, Dave Blaney, he was not a full-time driver with the Outlaws. At least from what I could see, he missed out on quite a few races here in the 1985 season. He had 49 starts that year. Now, I want to clarify this as well. He did have plenty of starts before 85, but, you know, somewhere between 5 and 10 starts, or he'll run 3 races in 1 year, right? It wasn't anything like he was running in 1985 before that year. So I felt like this was the year to start with his stats. 49 starts with the Outlaws in 85. He did have 2 wins that year, 10 top 5 finishes. He had 20 top 10s and a 12th place result in the point standings. That year, he split time between the Bishop number 2 car and, of course, the Stanton number 40, a very famous sprint car back in the day, and Dave Blaney ran it for a couple of years. Now, I didn't even mention why we're doing this video. If you did not know, Dave Blaney won the Lou Blaney Memorial, last night at the Sharon Speedway, the track that he owns, a race in memory of his father. In Victory Lane, Dave Blaney said that he is done. This is his last race. He went out on top, a walk-off win, called it a career at 61 years old. The guy, absolutely legendary status. Obviously, his stats in the sprint car are fantastic. He did have a career in NASCAR as well that went for a pretty long time. And we'll talk about that more as well as this video progresses. So 1986, he was back with the Outlaws. I mean, he ran between the All-Stars, the Outlaws. You know, he ran some USAC stuff as well. But with the Outlaws in 86, 46 starts there. He still had 2 more wins, 15 top 5s, 29 top 10s. He was 13th in points, and that year, once again, driving the Stanton number 40 car. Now, in 87, he split time between the All-Stars and the Outlaws. And on the thirdturn.com, their stats for the All-Stars in 1987 are all over the place. Like they don't have all the results in there. It's kind of a mess, but between the All-Stars and the Outlaws in 87, he had 61 plus starts because, like I said, they didn't have everything on there. 14 wins, 12 of those came with the All-Stars in 1987. He had 31 top 5s, 45 top 10s, and I don't have a points finish on there because he did not run for either series full-time, and he was in the Stanton number 40 for the first part of the year, and then something happened. Obviously, I wasn't around, and then he got into I believe it was the Gary Knott 48. I don't know if that was the guy's first name, but the Knott 48 car. He finished the year out in that in 1987. He would return to that car on the Outlaw Tour full-time in 1988. 81 starts in 88, 5 wins, 36 top 5s, 62 top 10s. He would end up in the 4th position in the overall point standings that year. Now in 89, that would come with the split between the Outlaws and the United Sprint Association, the USA Series, or as people call it, the high limit of 2024, right? That was 89 USA. He went and ran that full-time instead of the Outlaws. 41 starts for the United Sprint Association in 1989. 3 wins, 30 top 5s, 36 top 10s, and he had 4th position in the point standings. This year, he was driving the Chup number 7C, which, as you can see, he ran that for a number of years. And if you have been a channel member or a channel viewer, for a very long time, you know when we do these career videos that seeing this type of consistency in the same car owner is very, very rare, especially back in the day here in the late 80s and early 90s. Dave Blaney must have had a really good relationship with his car owners because he was with this car for a long time. Now, 1990, sorry, where am I at? 1990. No, 1991, sorry. 89 starts that year, once again, full-time with the Outlaws. 6 wins in 1991, 47 top 5s, 69 nice top 10s, and he was, it looks like, 5th in the point standings that year. Did I miss a year here? I got my writing a little bit off here. 1990, he was with the Outlaws, first year in the Chup 7C, and then in 91, yeah, so I was all right there. So now 1992, he had 87 starts with the Outlaws. He had 2 wins, 30 top 5s, and 66 top 10s. He was 5th in the overall point standings that year, once again driving the Chup 7C. So he was in that car for 4 years on the Outlaw Tour and got himself a lot of wins along the way, a lot of top 5s, a lot of top 10s, not able to get a World of Outlaws championship, which he was only able to do that 1 year, which we'll get to in just a moment. But at the end of the 92 season, was it the 92? Yeah, so at the end of the 92 season, he then gets in the car that he's probably the most famous for, which is the Casey Luna number 10 car, the Vivarin car that a lot of people know about, easily the most famous car that he ever drove. And it was one that he had instant success with right out the gate. So in 1993, he had 83 starts with the Luna 10, 15 wins in the very first year driving that car, 54 top 5s, and 72 top 10s. He would immediately go from 5th to 2nd in the point standings that year. He would finish 110 points behind Steve Kinser for that championship. Then in 1994, the numbers do get a little bit better. He has 86 starts in 94, 14 wins, so just 1 less win, but he did have 55 top 5s, 1 more top 5 in the year previous, and 8 more top 10s, but he would still be 366 points behind Steve Kinser, where he would finish 2nd in the Outlaw Championship that year once again. Now, 1995 is where he puts everything together and has a very, very good season, the best season of his career, and that's why I have it wrote in green. 92 starts in 95, 17 wins in that season, 62 top 5 finishes, and 82 top 10s. He missed the top 10 in 10 races. He missed the top 5 in 30 races. He won the championship, and it was just an incredible season for Dave Blaney. What can you say, man? He was getting better and better each and every year, it seemed like, and it finally came around for him getting a championship in 95. He would stick with the Outlaws in 1996 as well. 89 starts that year. He had 10 wins, so a little bit of a drop there in production. 4 more top 5s, though, and 77 top 10s. That year, he would run 2nd in points to Mark Kinser. He was 402 points behind him at season's end in 1996. Now, his final year as a full-time driver with the World of Outlaws was 1997. He would have 92 starts that year, 11 wins, 53 top 5s, 80 top 10s. This time, he would end up 2nd in points to Sammy Swindell. He was 123 points behind at the end of the year. So Dave Blaney, his final 5 years as a World of Outlaws driver, he was second, first, second, and 2nd in points. The guy was absolutely on fire before he, got the call to go do the NASCAR stuff. And obviously that pays probably a lot better than what it paid to be a sprint car driver back then. And Dave Blaney made a long and successful career in the NASCAR deal, which we're going to talk about here in just a moment. We're going to switch boards once again to talk about his overall World of Outlaws stats. We're going to talk about his accolades and the things that he was able to accomplish in his career as well. So over there on the far side of the board, his World of Outlaws stats, 1,017 starts in his career. He has 95 career wins, which was 9th at this time, is 9th overall on the all-time wins list since 1978 with the Outlaws. The guy that's closest to him right now is Brad Sweet. Sweet is 91 wins, so 4 behind Dave Blaney. 507 top 5 finishes. For 49% of his races, he was inside the top 5. That is half. If you didn't know what math is and you don't know what percentages are, that is half of the races he was in the top 5. 75% of the time, he was in the top 10. 767 top 10s with the Outlaws in those 1,017 starts. Now, in the NASCAR side of things, after 1997, he would go on to run for multiple car owners in not only the trucks, the Busch Series and the Cup Series, but we're not going to get into really all the Busch and the truck stuff. But in the Cup Series, he did have 473 Cup starts, 4 top 5s, and 28 top 10 finishes. He did get 1 career NASCAR Busch Series win. That came at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in 2006. His only career NASCAR, national division win. But still, he ran from 97 all the way to like 2013 on a pretty regular basis. He made a very good career in the NASCAR side of things. Now, at his accolades, looking at all the things he was able to win, able to, as far as a championship or a big race or whatever, 95, obviously, we mentioned that he was the World of Outlaws champion. And also in 95, he was the National Sprint Car Driver of the Year in a little poll that they did in 95. He was a 2014 National Sprint Car Hall of Fame inductee as well. So forever, he will be enshrined as a National Sprint Car Hall of Famer. So a hofer for Dave Blaney. Dave Blaney, also a 49-time All-Star Circuit of Champions winner. He never ran that series, from what I could tell, as a full-timer. He did run quite a bit there in, 86, 87 area. He ran quite a bit of their races when he was splitting time between the Outlaws and the All-Stars. In 2024, this year, he was the Western PA Speedway champion. So at 61 years old, he was still getting the job done. As we know, he just won, obviously, on Saturday at Sharon. The guy was still getting the job done. He got that unbelievable win against the World of Outlaws at Sharon in 2021. Easily one of the coolest moments I've ever been a part of in my entire broadcasting career, interviewing Dave Blaney, the 1995 Outlaw champion, winning his first race since 97 in front of his home crowd at his home track, the place that he owns. Absolutely incredible moment. He won Outlaw races in 3 different decades, the 80s, the 90s, and in the 2020s. So the guy is unbelievable. 1989, he was the Ohio Speedway champion as well. So he won 2 different Speedway championships. 1993 and 1995, he was able to win the Kings Royal at the Eldora Speedway. 1997, he got the win at the Knoxville Nationals. So he was one shy of the Triple Crown in sprint car racing, the Kings Royal, the Nationals, and the National Open. But he did finish second on 2 different occasions at the Williams Grove National Open. He also won the 1983 Tuscarora 50 at Port Royal Speedway. He was a 1997 winner of the historical Big One at Eldora. 1993, this guy could do it all. He won the Chili Bowl Nationals in his first try. He only ran the Chili Bowl 5 times, and he won it the very first try in 1993. So Dave Blaney could get in any type of car, it seemed like, and perform and do very, very well. And that is one cool stat right there, to be able to win an Outlaw Championship and win a Chili Bowl. There are not many guys that can say they've been able to do that. He was also a 4-time winner with that United Sprint Association when the split came back in 89 between the Outlaws and the USA. He won 4 races there. 1984, he was the USAC Silver Crown champion. So sprint cars, midgets, Silver Crown, NASCAR. Dave Blaney continues to show us here that he can do just about anything behind the wheel of a race car. He also won the 1997 edition of the Gold Cup Race of Champions at the Silver Dollar Speedway in Chico, California. He also won the Sealands Grove National Open. He won the Lou Blaney Memorial. His dad's race 2 different times, obviously the most recent one coming this Saturday night. The guy was unbelievable, right? It absolutely, already a Hall of Fame career, a certified badass, going out on top at his home track in a race for his father. You could not write a better script. And the guy was cool, man. One time, I think it was actually, was it the year that he won? I don't think it was the year that he won the Outlaw Show at Sharon. Maybe it was a couple years later. After the race, we went down to, I think it was like a Sheetz or something, and Dave Blaney was there buying a Mountain Dew or whatever it was. And he was just, sitting there talking to us when I was working for Dirt Vision, and just super down-to-earth guy. He's super cool. And, obviously he can still get the job done. You hate to see a guy leave the sport when he still has the capabilities to win. But going out on his own terms and doing it in style with a big win, you cannot deny that this guy was certainly one of the greatest of all time. There's not many guys that have won a World Outlaws championship. What is it, like 12, 13 guys have won an Outlaw championship? Dave Blaney is one of them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this career video. The first time we've done one of these in a very long time. Back when I was doing these, I had like 300 subscribers. So now we have like 3,500. So hopefully you guys enjoy these types of videos. We're going to do more of these as more sprint car drivers start to retire and things like that. We can also do more for guys that have already retired. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Appreciate all of you watching. Also appreciate all those channel members we mentioned earlier. You guys are awesome. And we will talk to you guys again here very soon.